Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome tonight to Jerome T. Osborne Senior Stadium. And tonight is a very, very special night. We're in a spirits night. We appreciate all the support all the parents have given these athletes, cheerleaders, and trainers throughout the years. And tonight we want to recognize the parents along with their athlete, their cheerleader, and their trainer. First of all, number 3, Jarrell Jackson, escorted by Daryl and Geraldine Jackson. Mark Walton, Terrence and Kinja Walton. Number 9, Mark Edwards, John and Anita Edwards. Number 10, Jake Floria, John and Wendy Floria. Number 11, Kyle Tankovich, Jack and Dawn Tankovich. Number 14, Zach Sparacia, Drew and Deb Sparacia. Brendan Parker, number 15, Scott and Therese Parker. Number 22, Tyler Thompson, Steve and Michelle Thompson. Number 24, Dustin Moss, Chris Moss and Lori Dykeman. Number 30, Adam Williams, Dan and Betsy Williams. Number 32, J.D. Metzko, Dennis and Key Metzko. All of the players and their parents are being greeted at the center of the field by Principal Mr. Bill Wade and Superintendent Mr. Matt Miller.
Hi, how you doing?
Number 40, Eddie Doherty, and Dania Turner. Number 42, Brandon Ellick, Jeff and Tammy Ellick. Number 45, Pete Kupka, escorted by Mary Kupka. Number 46, Brady Crandall, Brad and Jody Crandall. Number 50, Trevor Morrison, Joyce Morrison. Number 53, Tony Josipovic, escorted by Eric and Nevenka Josipovic. Number 54, Nico Lautinen, Tim and Oriana Lautinen. Number 70, Drew Noble, Jeff and Holly Noble. Number 71, Alex Hazen, Larry Hazen, Jerry, and Karen Selecki. Number 75, Dylan Armstrong, Bill and Lisa Armstrong. Number 79, Reggie Brawley, escorted by Jennifer Sands and family. Number 81, Ben Bacco, Tom and Robin Bacco. Number 84, Steve Loosley, escorted by Kelly Loosley. Number 92, Tom Wattrell, Dave and Cindy Wattrell. And number 94, Sean Harrington, escorted by Scott and Marie Harrington. And now for the cheerleaders. Introducing Kayla Adamek, Ernie and Tina Adamek. Nicole Filler, Fred and Nina Filler. Elise Fulmer, Rob and Kathy Fulmer. Sarah Gatto. Bill and Nancy Gatto. Rachel Lance, who is co-captain of this year's squad, escorted by Doug and Sharon Lance. Bridget Langu, also co-captain, escorted by Gail Getz and Heather Langu. Taylor Turek, Mike and Tina Turek. And now for the trainers. Kim Brown, escorted by Xenia Brown. Correction, Santa Brown. Megan Fitzgerald, Mike and Janine Fitzgerald. Ciara Grandine, escorted by Ciro Grandine. Brooklyn Raspberry, escorted by Robert and Tina Raspberry. Caitlin Riley, escorted by Steve and Debbie Riley. Victory Smith, Gary and Amy Smith, escorted. Christina Marshouse, Nancy and John Marshouse. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big, big hand for all the wonderful parents supporting their wonderful athletes here at Mount High School. Thank you so much for your love and support you've given to your athlete, son or daughter.
Good evening, everybody. Cardinal TV bringing it to you. Another exciting home game for the 2014 Mentor Cardinals, taking on the visiting Solon Comets this week. Solon coming into Jerome T. Osborne Stadium here in Mentor, Ohio, with a 5-2 record on the 2014 season. Mentor, of course, coming in with that perfect 7-0 record on the season, coming fresh off a victory on the road last week versus the Brunswick Blue Devils. Again, glad to have you here. Pete Stark, Cardinal TV. Hopefully you're checking us out. You could stream us live during the game, ESPNCleveland.com, or you can watch the replay of the game on Cardinal TV, Mentor, Ohio, on the YouTube. And then also Time Warner Cable in the city of Mentor, channel 96.96. Again, this matchup between these two schools. All-time Mentor leads the series 11-9. Last meeting was last year, where the Cardinals ended up victorious over Solon on the road in Solon at Stewart Field, where the Cardinals actually pitched a shutout, 35-0 over the Comets last year. Mentor coming off again of that exciting victory last week versus Brunswick and the Blue Devils. Cardinals, after 4 games here at Jerome T. Osborne Stadium at home, where they had enjoyed a comfortable lead, taking care of Euclid, Twinsburg, Brush, and then Shaker Heights before going on the road for a tight matchup last week. Cardinals ended up victorious 21-14 over Brunswick. But it was a nail-biter where at the very end, Brunswick was driving, only to be intercepted towards the end of the game as the clock was winding down. Nice interception by Mark Walton sealed the deal for the Cardinals. The Cardinals have defeated Solon in 4 straight games with a combined score of 177-88. Solon did win last at the JTO in 2010. Solon started out the season strong, 5-0 on the year, but they've lost their last 2 weeks in a row, having losing to Mayfield and then last week to Hudson, losing both of those games by 7 points apiece. So that 5-2 record a bit deceiving. They've played a strong year to date. Again, they were 5-0 and then taking falls the last 2 weeks, but again, a dangerous team that Mentor's going to be playing this time after last 4 weeks at home, playing some teams not with the greatest of records. This is going to be a true test, as it was last week versus Brunswick versus Solon this week. So, again, we knew these last 4 games of the season were going to be tough matchups, and it's holding true to form from what we saw last week versus Brunswick, as Solon gets set to kick off to the Cardinals. Getting ready for game time. And the kick is off. Recovered by the Cardinals. Going to bring it out of the end zone. Coming up to about the 15-yard line before being taken down by the Comets. Cardinals coming out on offense. Again, offense has been in a real role this year. Defense has been having a strong output as well. Offense being led by the senior quarterback, Jake Floria. But also weekly contributions by players such as Eddie Doherty, Alex Matthews, Jason Blizzard, Malik Porter, to name a few. As we get set to go, 1st and 10, Jake Floria, 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Finds his receiver. Eddie Doherty looked like he caught that ball for a short gain for the Cardinals. Going to bring up 2nd down and long. And that was number 40, Eddie Doherty, on the reception. Eddie having a big week last week versus the Brunswick Blue Devils, catching 12 passes from Jake Floria, accounting for 192 yards of offense for the Cards. As there's a fumble on the play, and the Cardinals turning the ball over early into going here on the second offensive play of the game. Solon Comets going to have 1st down and inside the red zone on the Cardinals side of the field. The early turnover here by the Cardinals, uncharacteristic, but given the visiting team possession here in the early going on that turnover. Solon coached by Jim McQuaid. Again, pretty solid team this year. Quarterback Johnny Mooney having a good season himself. Completed 66 passes on 117 attempts on the year for 734 yards. He's thrown for 9 touchdown passes. And the Cardinals squashing that 1st down play, pushing them back to the 20-yard line. Strong defensive play on 1st down. That was Melvin Jackson on the run for the Comets before being stuffed by the Cardinal defense. Going to bring up 2nd down and 12 for Solon, coming up on 11 minutes to play in the 1st quarter. No score on the night. Solon visiting here at Menor. Matchup of Menor 7-0 versus Solon 5-2 on the season. The quarterback found his receiver in the middle of the field. Rodney Suggs on a reception from, actually that was number 5, Gil Barksdale on a reception from Johnny Mooney, the junior quarterback for Solon. And Will Leganke getting credit for the tackle for the Cards on that. 10:25 remaining in the 1st quarter play. Going to be 3rd down, call it 5 yards to go for the Solon Comets inside the red zone. 2 receivers to the right, 2 on the left, and 1's going in motion to the right-hand side, looking to pass the ball. He's going to hold on to it before being taken down by the Cardinals defense at the 15-yard line. Cardinals stopping that 3rd down situation. Big play on defense for the Cardinals. Stopping the blue and yellow there, as they're going to be forced to a 4th down and 10 situation with 9:50 remaining in the 1st quarter. Jim McQuaid, the coach of the Solon Comets in his 12th season for the school. They're getting set up for the field goal here. It's going to be a 31-yard field goal attempt for the Comets as they get set. 2 seconds remaining on the play clock, and it's blocked by the Cardinals. Big play by the defense. Big play as Solon was going for the field goal. Cardinals getting their hands on the ball and stuffing that field goal attempt. 51 getting his hands in there. Billy Hudson, the 6'3" junior defensive lineman, getting his paws up on that ball. Stopping that field goal attempt. Getting the ball back in the hands of the Cards. Changing momentum a little bit here. 1st and 10, the Cardinals offense looking to get back on the field. Cardinals again last week with that tight victory over Brunswick, 21-14. Big defensive play accounting for sealing that victory last week versus Brunswick. Jake Floria is going to roll out to his left, looking downfield. He's got a receiver. It just overshoots Jarrell Jackson. He was on the move and just a little bit out of his reach. Number 3, the intended receiver there. 9:17 remaining in the 1st quarter of play. No score on the board. Cardinals in their second possession after turning it over in their first possession on the game. But getting it back after that blocked field goal. A lot of excitement here in the early going. Floria with 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. 10 seconds remaining on the play clock here. 2nd down and 10 for the Cards. Floria looking downfield. Got his receiver, and that's a good catch. Blizzard on the reception. Moving the chains. Here we go. 1st and 10. We're going to do it again for the Cards. First down of the game. Floria, 2 receivers on his left-hand side, 2 on his right. From that shotgun set, he's going to hand the ball off. And some running room straight ahead. Refusing to go down. Alex Matthews getting pushed back finally by the Comet defenders, but a real strong push on that 1st down run. 8:50 remaining in the first quarter. No score on the board. He's going to bring up a 2nd down and short situation. We'll call it 2nd down and 2 for the Cards. Jake Flory in that familiar shotgun set. He's going to hand the ball off again, and again some running room coming through like the wrecking ball. Alex Matthews up to the 40-yard line on the Comet side of the field. 1st and 10, we're going to do it again. Cardinals moving those chains. Again, pretty evenly matched game overall last week against Brunswick. Cardinals with that 7-point victory, uncharacteristic after they were inflicting a mercy rule most of the season. Blizzard catching the ball, 10-5, the touchdown! Time to score, how about 6 more? 8:12 remaining in the first quarter. The Cards getting on the board. Jason Blizzard finding himself wide open. All he had to do was catch the ball and find his way in from the 10-yard line, cross the goal line for the end zone for the touchdown, putting the Cardinals up 6-0 over the Solon Comets. Jason Blizzard, I don't think, could believe he found himself that wide open. A junior receiver on the score. An extra point capper by Tyler Thompson is up, and it's good. So it's going to be 7 for the home team, Mentor Cardinals. No points on the board for the Solon Comets. Big play for the Cardinals. That big play offense, very familiar routine, especially here at home. Again, the Cardinals, 4 home games. First one versus the Euclid Panthers, putting up 49 points. The second one versus the Twinsburg Tigers, where they amassed 54 points. Against Brush, 48 points, and against Shaker Heights, 49 points. So when the Cardinals are here at home, they tend to put up some big numbers on the scoreboard. 8:12 remaining in the first quarter of play. Going to break down some of the stats from last week versus Brunswick. Cardinals had 123 yards rushing last week and 362 yards passing for a total of 485 yards last week versus Brunswick. Brunswick, pretty big night too, 390 total yards. Time of possession pretty well balanced last week. Cardinals 25 minutes, Brunswick 22 minutes. And the Cards 4 of 11 for 3rd down conversions last week, 1 of 4 on 4ths. Jake Floria had himself a big week last week, as did Eddie Doherty. Floria with 37 passing attempts, 25 completions, 3 touchdown passes. But Eddie Doherty with 12 receptions for 192 yards. His long being a 32-yard reception and 2 touchdowns on the night last week. Cardinals getting set to kick here, but they may get flagged with a delay of game as the play clock had wound down to 0. The officials coming out to the ball right now. 8:12 remaining in this first quarter. The Cardinals with the 7-0 advantage over the Solon Comets, and they are going to penalize the Cardinals for that, and they're going to back them up on the kickoff following the touchdown. Last week in the scoring column, 3 touchdowns for the Cardinals. Jake Floria had a 28-yard pass to Eddie Doherty, as well as a 32-yard pass to Eddie Doherty, and the other touchdown coming on a 32-yard touchdown completion to Alex Matthews. It's getting a little bit windy out here tonight. At game time is 64 degrees outside, but the darker it's getting, the temperature dropping, but that wind's continuing to blow a little bit. as that ball just won't stay on the tee for the kicker here. Have to get a holder for the kick this time. Cardinals getting set to finally kick the ball off to Solon. And there we go. Solon getting the ball at about the 13-yard line. Some running room up to the 35-yard line. Positive run back for the Comets. Again, the Comets coming in with that 5-2 record on the season. They're 1-1 in the Northeast Ohio Conference. They're in the same Valley Division as the Cardinals are. Cardinals find themselves on top of the Valley Division, 2-0 in the conference, tied with the Hudson Explorers, who they're playing next week, who's also 2-0 in the Valley Division, 7-0 on the season. So it's going to be a big matchup again next week. It's going to be the Thursday night special once again when they go to the Hudson Stadium. Hudson is playing Strongsville tonight. It's another strong team coming in 6-1 into this evening's play. Going out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. Solon on the run. That was Gil Barksdale on the rush for Solon. 7:58 remaining in the first quarter play. Cardinals up 7-0 over the Comets. Again, next year there's going to be some changes where the Cardinals are going to be going away from the Northeast Ohio Conference and joining the Greater Cleveland Conference, the GCC, for the 2015-2016 school year. Solon is going to remain in the conference with the Cardinals, but a lot of teams they're used to playing are not going to be. But next year they're going to be going against Euclid, Solon, Shaker Heights, Brunswick, Medina, Strongsville, and Elyria in the conference, which is going to be split into an East and a Western division in the conference. It's going to be a third down and short for the Comets as they come up short on that second down play. 7:35 remaining in this first quarter. Solon again being led by their junior quarterback, Johnny Mooney, in the shotgun set. One receiver to his right, two to his left. Looking to hand the ball off. Stuffed by the Cardinals. They're not going to get it. Going to force a fourth down situation. Big play on defense for the Cards as Solon can't convert on the third and short. So the ball being spotted at the 44-yard line. Solon getting their special teams unit on the field to punt the ball over to the Cardinals. Eddie Doherty getting set up at his own 20-yard line. Inside 7 minutes to play here in the first quarter play. The Cardinals with a 7-point advantage. Up 7-0 in early going here in the game tonight. Eddie Doherty getting set for the return. Off the bounce, he handled the ball at the 15 to the 20. Juking and jiving, and this is where he's going to land just past the 20-yard line at about the 22-yard line on the Cardinals side of the ball. Going to bring on the first and 10 situation for the Cardinals offense with 6.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Cardinals with a 7-point lead, looking to build on that. Again, the Cardinals, as much press and as much fanfare there is around the offense that is high-powered and able to put up points at any moment. The defense has been exceptionally strong this year as well. Last week, again, that interception sealing the deal versus the Brunswick Blue Devils. The Cardinals now have intercepted an opponent's pass in 19 of the last 22 games, going all the way back to the 2013 season. First and 10 on offense. Jake Floria looking downfield. Again, looking to pass. Malik Porter almost went upstairs to grab that ball. He had an opening in the middle of the field, but just a little bit out of his range as he went and skied, but he couldn't wrangle in the pass from Jake Flory. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 situation for the Cards. Taking a peek at the computer points at this juncture of the season, the Cardinals coming in ranked 4th for Division I, Region 1. Hudson Explorers have the top ranking in the computer points. As the Cardinals, Alex Matthews with a good run on 2nd down, bringing up a 3rd down situation for the Cards. 6:13 remaining in the first quarter of play. It's going to be a 3rd down and 3 yards to go over to that first for the Cardinals. Floria in the shotgun, 2 receivers to his left. Actually, 3 to his left, 1 to his right, and he's going to hand the ball off. Eddie Doherty, and it's going to... And that may have been Alex Matthews on the run, but it looks like we're going to be short on a 3rd down conversion. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 1 for the Cards. Decision time, and Trevisano did not have to think very long about getting the special teams unit on the field to punt the ball back over to Solon. From deep on their own side of the field at the 30-yard line, the Cardinals going to kick the ball back over to Solon. 5:20 remaining in the first quarter play. The Cards with the 7-point lead over Solon. And he gets the punt off just barely, and it's a dribbler that goes out of bounds. It's going to be very good field position for the Comets as they're going to be on the Cardinal side of the field at about the 36-yard line. Cardinals getting set to come out on defense. The defense always thinking about number 55. That's been their motivation point this year, and that 55 stands for the number of points that Cincinnati Moeller put up against them in a championship game last year, really using that as a rallying point. They want to get back to that championship game this year, and Comets finding a reception, getting in the red zone, getting close to the 10-yard line on that pass completion to number 6, Jake McCurry from quarterback Johnny Mooney. As the Comets moving the chains. Going to be a first down and goal-to-goal situation for the Comets. 5:06 remaining in the first quarter of play. Comets getting set. Mooney in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Being taken down, and the ball may have come loose. It looks like the Comets recovering the ball, so it's going to remain in their possession. A little bit of excitement in the crowd when that ball squirted loose, but it ended up back in the hands of the Comets, and it's going to put the ball at about the 11-yard line, so it's going to bring up a second down goal-to-goal situation again for the Comets. 4:25 remaining in the first quarter of play. Mooney getting set at the quarterback spot. Little shovel pass to Melvin Jackson. Finds a couple yards on that. Straight ahead to about the 8-yard line. Call it the 7-yard line. 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Solon inching a little bit closer, but it's third down. Third down, a big third down play again for the Comets. Cardinals stuffing that third down play last drive for the Comets. And also blocking that field goal attempt. Defense looking to tighten up again for the Cards. Is Mooney looking to his left. He's got number 2 again. That's Jackson being taken down by the Cards. His flags fly in the air. Wait to see what the call is by the officials. Melvin Jackson on the little screen pass. 3:38 remaining in the first quarter play. Cards with the 7-point advantage. Comets threatening here, though. It looks like it may be called against Solon here, but we'll wait to see what the officials call. Cardinals going back to some of the rankings in the News Herald. Top of the crop. Again, find themselves at the top of that ranking. Number 1 for the News Herald, top of the crop. Cleveland.com poll finds Menor number 2 behind the Hudson Explorers. The Ohio Associated Press has the Menor Cardinals ranked number 1, with Hudson trailing them in second place. In the USA Today national rankings, find Menor ranked 30th in the country. Hudson ranked 49th in the country. Those are the only 2 teams for the state of Ohio ranked nationally. As the Comets again going for the field goal attempt. Cardinals again getting some pressure, and then they got their hand on it again. No good. So 2 field goal attempts for the Solon Comets, and denied both times as the Cardinal defenders coming up big. 3:16 remaining in the first quarter of play. The Cardinals enjoying a 7-point lead. The defense coming up huge on both of the field goal attempts of the Solon Comets, where they were threatening to score. Putting the ball back in the hands of the Cardinal offense. Jake Flory, the senior quarterback, getting on the field, ready to lead the offensive squad out there. 2014 season statistics for the Cards. The leader in rushing for the Cardinals Alex Matthews, 524 yards going into this game. Flory on the quarterback keeper for the Cards, not finding a whole lot going. So we approach 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter play. We're going to call it a yard that Flory gained on that run. This time he's got 5 receivers, 3 to his right, 2 to his left. Looking to pass downfield. Overshoots his guy and nearly picked off. Dangerous pass in the middle of the field. Looking for Malik Porter on that pass play, but overshot him. 2:47 remaining as the Cardinals get set for a 3rd down and long situation. 3rd and 9 from their own 20-yard line. Jake Flory is looking at 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Getting set, looking downfield. And again, overshoots his receiver, looking for Jason Blizzard, but well over his head. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 9 for the Cards as they're going to have to punt that ball back over to Solon. Cardinals, again, not finding much momentum after a couple big defensive plays where they blocked a field goal for Solon on 2 occasions already this evening. 2:42 remaining in the first. Cards on the punt. Much better punt than it was last time as it goes to the Solon side of the field, takes a Cardinal roll to the 30-yard line right now before their player for the Comets going out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Much better results that time for the Cards on that punt, giving the ball to Solon. 2:30 remaining in the first quarter of play. Cards up 7-0. Defense has been on the field quite a bit for the Cardinals here in the early going. Solon getting set up in a shotgun. They got 3 receivers to their right, 1 to their left. Mooney looking in the center of the field, and he's got a receiver for about a 7-yard gain on 1st down. He's going to bring up a 2nd down and short for the Comets. 2 out of the 4 home games already this year for the Cardinals have resulted in shutouts versus the teams they were playing. They held the Euclid Panthers as well as the Brush Sharks scoreless in those 2 games to this point. Doing the same with Solon in early going here, but Solon has shown they can move the ball. Put a couple big plays on 4th downs where Solon attempted to make the field goals, and he got it blocked cleanly the first time, and Cardinals got their hands on it the 2nd time. As the Comets moving the ball ahead, getting the 1st down play. So we're inside 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's going to be the 47-yard line on the Comets side of the field. Solon moving the ball. Clock running down here. The end of the first quarter play, 1:35 remaining. Johnny Mooney, the quarterback for Solon, getting his team set. Shotgun formation. Again, going with the pitch to Melvin Jackson, being run down by the Cards before Jackson goes out of bounds, but he was being slowed down by the Cards. Kenny Cook getting credit for the tackle for the Cards. Next week, Solon's going to be taking on at home the Twinsburg Tigers before wrapping up their regular season on the road versus the Brunswick Blue Devils. Again, the Cardinals' remaining games here in the regular season. Next week, the Thursday night game of the week against the Hudson Explorers, and then finally coming back here at home versus Strongsville for the last game of the season on Halloween night. And they're going to call that an incompletion by the Solon Comets. 45 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and long for Solon, 3rd and 8 from their own 49-yard line. Solon getting set for the big 3rd down play again. Cardinals looking to tighten up on defense. Johnny Mooney getting set. Quarterback for the Comets. Looking downfield under a lot of pressure by the Cards. Number 45 getting his mitts on him. That's Pete Kunka with the takedown and the sack. The big play for the Cardinals defense on 3rd down. coming inside 30 seconds to play here in the first quarter as the Comets getting set in a punt formation, 4th down and 8. Going to kick it back over to the Cardinals. Eddie Doherty getting set up. As the play clock and the game clock pretty close, but they are going to get the kick off and nearly blocked that one for the Cards. Eddie Doherty fields it cleanly, running up to the 20-yard line, to the 25 before being taken down. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter of play. The Cardinals at home with a 7-point advantage, 7-0 over the visiting Solon Comets. Cardinals getting the ball back here again. Not finding a lot going offensively in the first quarter other than the drive that found Jake Floria connecting with Jason Blizzard for the touchdown reception. 7-0 again the score in the first half of play now as we just wrapped up the first quarter in this big matchup here, Menor versus Solon. And it does not get any easier for the Cardinals as next week going up against the Hudson Explorers, who at this point, just like Menor, 7-0 on the season. And then a team that the Cardinals faced in the last game is the Strongsville Mustangs, who are coming in at 6-1 as they match up against Hudson this week. But a couple of tough teams to end the regular season as well. You know, the Cardinals are thinking about playoffs again this year, but still have to do battle before they get to that point with the last few regular season games. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. Jake Floria coming out on the field for the beginning of the second quarter. The senior quarterback looking at 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left in a spread formation. Getting set. Floria looking downfield. And he's going to scramble and keep the ball. He's got a little bit of running room. To 30, to the 35. Finding a lane, moving the chains, very close to that first down. Jake Floria on the quarterback keeper, didn't find anything going. We're looking for a receiver, but there is going to be a flag on the play. Going to bring that ball back. It's going to be a holding call on the Cardinals offense. In the first play of the second quarter, the Cardinals up 7-0 over the Solon Comets. So the Cardinals being moved back. They're going to be at about the 12-yard line. It's going to be a first down and very long for the Cards, 24. Is Floria getting set on a first down play, looking downfield. Got his receiver. Oh, and he got popped, but he held on to the ball. Jarrell Jackson pulling that pass in and hanging on to the ball after absorbing that tough hit by the Comets defense. Jake McCurry with the strong tackle by the Comets, but nice reception by Jarrell Jackson, the senior receiver for the Cards. Jake Floria getting set. 2nd down and a short 4, but he's looking downfield. He's got Blizzard, but he undershot him, and the Comets got their hand on the ball there. Michael Jeffrey, the Comet defender. 11:13 remaining in the half, going to bring up a 3rd down situation for the Cards. It's going to be a 3rd down and 9 for the Menor Cardinals here. 3rd and long. Cardinals facing a big 3rd down play here. Jake Floria, 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right, rolling to his left. Got someone open in the middle of the field, and that's going to be enough to move the chains. It's going to be a big reception for the Cardinals. That's Malik Porter on the catch. 1st and 10, we're going to do it again for the Cards. 11:08 remaining in the first half of play. Cardinals staying alive with a 7-point advantage over the visiting Comets out of Solon. Jake Floria rolling to his right, escapes the defender, and he's going to run the ball, taking it straight ahead to about the 45-yard line before going out of bounds, making something out of nothing on that play where he was running for his life to the right and got 5 yards out of it. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 5 for the Cards. Got some of the first quarter statistics. Rushing yards in that first quarter, 32 on the ground for the Cardinals to only 9 rushing yards for the Comets. Passing yards, 61 for the Cardinals, 39 for the Comets. Floria rolling to his left, looking downfield. Dangerous pass and tipped by the receiver and intercepted by the Comets. So it went off the hands of Malik Porter, went straight up in the air in the old tip drill, and the Comets defenders cash in on the interception. Giving the ball back over to Solon, a decent field position here. 10:53 remaining in the half, and the Cardinals giving the ball right back. Total yards in that first quarter play, 93 yards for the Cards, 48 for the Comets. Cardinals gained an average of 7.2 yards a play in the first quarter at only 3.2 for the Comets. As the Comets getting set on the first down following that turnover. They're going to hand that ball over to Melvin Jackson, number 2, for a short yardage gain for the Comets before being taken down by the Cards. J.D. Matsko on a tackle for the Cards. The senior defender having a nice season for the Cardinals. 10:30 remaining in the first half. The Cards up by 7. Again, finding their defense on the field quite a bit. Solon had the ball for 8 minutes 24 seconds in that first quarter to the Cardinals only 3 minutes 33 seconds. So the defense has been on the field substantially longer than the offense as the Comets getting set. Second down and long. Melvin Jackson again on that reception. Number 2, Mr. Do-It-All for the Comets. Running to the Cardinals side of the field. Moving the chains for the Comets here. 10 minutes 5 seconds remaining in the half. Solon moving the ball. Solon being led on offense again by their quarterback Johnny Mooney and his favorite player to go to, Mr. Do-It-All, Melvin Jackson, who's shown us already he can rush the ball and he can handle it on the receiving end as well. Getting that first down for Solon. First down and 10 for the Solon Comets. Cardinals up 7-0 here. Their 5th home game of the season. It's going to be a timeout on the field as there is a player that's down for Solon being tended to by the training staff. Again, we continue to wish a speedy recovery to Matt Gianfagna for the Cardinals, who was injured last week in the freshman game. Had to be flighted away from the field, and I know him and his family really appreciate all the sentiment and support from the entire community, with people wishing the best for that young player of the Cardinals who's really seems to be recovering, but it's going to be a difficult recovery for him, but doing much better than it looked at first last week, so wish Matt the best in a speedy recovery. And also, too, last week versus Brunswick, Cardinals facing that challenge after learning about one of their own. Matt Gianfagna suffering that tough hit and being flown away from the field in that freshman game on that Thursday last week. Also, Riley Pearson, the longtime trainer for the football team, ended up losing her battle with cancer. But she was an inspiration to everybody in the Mentor community, and she'll definitely be missed. Comets coming up shy on that first down play. Going to bring up a second down and 10 for Solon. 9:39 remaining in the first half. Cardinals with that 7-point advantage, clinging onto it, as Solon sure has been threatening so far. Cardinals with a couple blocks on the 2 field goal attempts that Solon has tried. But following an interception, Solon now in this drive here. Mooney with the fake. He handed that ball off. That's number 5, Gil Barksdale, on the rush for the Comets. Going to bring up a third down for the Comets and about 5 yards to go. It's going to be another big third down play here on this evening. The Comets were 0 for 4 on third down conversions in that first quarter play, so the Cards looking to keep that trend going and stuff them again on third down as the crowd starts getting the defense ready for this big play. 9:08 remaining in the first half. Mooney in the shotgun set, looking down, and he found his receiver. That's Jake McCurry on the catch, the sophomore receiver for the Comets, who's going to move those chains for Solon. Kyle Tankovich going to get credit for the tackle for the Cardinals. And also Kenny Cook got in the mix as well on the tackle for the Cards. 8:59 remaining in the first half of play. The Cards up, clinging to that 7-point advantage, 7-0 over the visiting Solon Comets. Johnny Mooney is going to hand the ball off. Again, he's going to give it to number 5, Gil Barksdale, but for minimal running room this time, as the Cards pushing them back. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 for Solon, or 2nd and 9. 8:35 remaining in the first half of play. Solon threatening. Big Nico Lautinen getting credit for the tackle on that play for the Cards. Johnny Mooney, quarterback, got a receiver in motion to his right. Looking to pass, looking downfield, and he overshoots his man. It's going to be an incomplete for Solon. Going to bring up another big 3rd down situation for the Comets. After coming up 0 for 4 in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions, the Comets just a couple seconds ago hit on their 3rd down play. Cardinals defense looking to rally up, though, with the 3rd down and 9 for the Comets. Cardinals looking to stuff them here and force them into a field goal attempt again, and that's worked out to the Cardinals' advantage both times that the Comets have attempted field goals to this point of the game with 2 blocks on the field goal attempts. Wide open in the center of the field, though, the Comets moving the ball up to inside the 10-yard line to about the 9, converting on successive 3rd down plays for the Comets. 8:06 remaining in the first half of play. The Comets on the move. Cardinals with that 7-point lead. Clinging on to it is the word. Johnny Mooney looking to the sideline for the play call for the Comets. In the first quarter of play, Johnny Mooney with 39 yards through the air, but a couple big passes already on this drive. Handing the ball off that time. It's going to be Gil Barksdale with the carry for the Comets. It's going to bring the ball up to about the 6-yard line on the Cards side of the field. 7:35 remaining in the first half of play. 2nd down from the 6-yard line for the Comets. Johnny Mooney getting set. Going to be a timeout taken by the Cardinals. As the Cardinals are not prepared for that formation that were thrown out there by the Comets. 7:21 remaining in the half. Cardinals up by 7 points here at home, Jerome T. Osborne Stadium. Another nice evening here. Started out in the low 60 degrees. Wind blowing a little bit, but overall not too bad for October 17th here in Mentor, Ohio. 2nd last home game of the regular season for the Cardinals. Cardinals play here again at home on Halloween night, October the 31st, versus the Strongsville Mustangs. Once again, 2nd down for the Solon Comets. Once they wrap up the timeout here and get back on the field. Cardinals defense again finding themselves out on the field quite a bit here. First quarter of play for Jake Flory, 3 receptions on 7 attempts for 61 yards. He's hoping to get back on the field if the defense can stop the Comets. As they bring them down, big play by the defense. Going to force another 3rd down situation for the Comets. And that was Matt Lobsher for Solon before being taken down. Brady Crandall and Pete Kunka tag team in that for the Cardinals. Stuffing the Comets is going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go. 6:45 remaining in the first half of play. Solon looking downfield. Got a receiver, and it's going to be incomplete. Good coverage by the Cardinals. He had his man, though. That was Matt Lobsher, the quarterback, coming up incomplete on his pass in the end zone. Solon's thinking about it. Big decision whether it's the field goal or if they go for it, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and try the field goal again. It hasn't worked out very well for them on the first 2 attempts, but they're going to give it a go again. 6:39 remaining in a half. Cardinals get a hat trick here with the 3rd block if they could get in there and get pressure. Should be a relatively short field goal attempt for Solon if they could get it off. And it's up Third time's a charm for the Comets as they hit that field goal. 3 points on the board for Solon, 7 for the Cardinals. Cardinals with that 4-point advantage now as they're going to be getting the ball back as Solon kicks it off back in their direction. But 2 weeks in a row, another tight game for the Cardinals. First time at home this year that the Cardinals have had a tight game on their hands. All the other home games have resulted in the mercy rule in the second half of play where the Cards have been up by over a 30-point advantage, but sure not shaping up that way this evening. 6:34 remaining in the half. Cards with that 7-3 lead. Hoping to cash in on this drive. Solon get it set to kick off from their own 40-yard line. Mark Walton and Brendan Parker setting up to return the kickoff. David Sabuke, number 27, set to kick the ball for the Solon Comets. And the kick is off. And it's going to be a short kick. And there's going to be a flag on the play on a short kickoff by the Comets. Waiting to see what the call is going to be. But it looks like it's going to be going against the Solon Comets, so it's going to back them up. They're going to have to re-kick the ball. So the official is spotting it back at the 35-yard line where they're going to kick it back over to the Cardinals here. 7-3, the Cardinals clinging on to that advantage here in the first half of play at Jerome T. Osborne Stadium. Again, we got Brendan Parker and Mark Walton set to return this kickoff here. As the wind has appeared to die down a little bit here at the stadium. And the kick, again, a short kick to the sideline. Cardinals get it to the 30, to the 35. Some running room to the 40, to the 45, to midfield, to the 45, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20. He's gone! Mark Walton in the end zone. Time to score. How about 6 more? Broke free. Found the lane, squirted through, and just kept running and outrunning the Comets. Defenders on that kickoff. 73-yard kickoff return for the Cardinals. Pushing the Cardinals ahead to a 13-3 lead. Getting momentum back on the side of the Cardinals. Much needed turn of events for the Cardinals. Mark Walton. Cardinals lining up to get the extra point attempt. 13-3. 6:20 remaining in the first half of play. And the kick is up, and it's going to push the score up to 14 points for the home team. Mentor Cardinals, 3 for the visiting Solon Comets after the exciting run back. Mark Walton running it back for the Cards on that kickoff return. 6:20 remaining in the first half of play as the crowd looking at the replay here at the stadium. Mark Walton snuck through and just kept going and beat the Solon Comets defenders for the long run. 73 yards on that kickoff return for Walton. It's been coming up big the last few weeks here. Coming up with interception the past 2 weeks for the Cardinals. 2 weeks ago when the Cardinals were here at home, Mark Walton had the pick 6 interception. And before that, the last time Mentor had a interception return for a touchdown was back in September the 16th of 2011. So Mark Walton really coming up big here in these last few games on defense for the Cards and now on special teams with the run back on the kickoff. Cards getting set to kick it back over to Solon. 6:20 remaining in a half. 14-3. The Cards now with a little bit of breathing room after clinging on to that tight 7-zip lead for a while, and then 7-3 after the Comets had just hit that field goal before Mark Walton returned that 73-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Tyler Thompson getting set to kick the ball. And it's going to bring up to the 5-yard line on the Comets side of the field. Running it out to the 20. And back to the 15, taken down by the Cardinals. Nice play on the special teams. That was Gil Barksdale on a return for the Comets. Adam Williams getting in there for the Cards on that special teams tackle. 6:13 remaining in the half. The Cards with the 14-3 advantage over the visiting Solon Comets. Again, with the computer points, the Cardinals find themselves in the 4th position right now. Hudson Explorers, who the Cards face off versus next week, ranked number 1 in the computer points, and the Solon Comets, even though they have 2 losses on the season, ranked number 7 for Division I, Region 1 with the computer points. 1st and 10. Solon looking downfield. Throwing it out of bounds. That was Matt Lobsher, the quarterback, overshooting his man, the senior quarterback for the Comets. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Comets. Second down and 10 for the Comets. As the Cardinals defense again has got to be tired with all the minutes they're logging out here in the first half of play, but nice stop right here as the Comets complete the pass, but being brought down quickly thereafter by the Cardinals defenders. That was Jake McCurry on a reception for the Comets. Kyle Tankovich getting in there, the defensive back, getting credit for the tackle for the Cards. Kenny Cook also in there too for the Cards. 5:45 remaining in the first half of play. Another big 3rd down play for the Comets, 3rd and 4. As the quarterback Matt Lobsher getting his team set. Got a receiver in motion. So he's looking down the field. Got a receiver right in the middle of the field. Got that ball off quick. Jake McCurry on a reception once again for the Comets. It's a nice sophomore receiver for the Comets, and he's going to be moving the chains. 1st down and 10 for the Comets. 5:19 remaining in the first half of play. The Cards with that 14-3 advantage over Solon. Solon breaking the huddle. Lining up in their shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right for Matt Lobsher. So he's looking down the field. Good hands by the Cardinals. He had his receiver open for a minute, Zach Lesko. Nice hands in there by Kyle Tankovich. Again, hearing his name called quite a bit here. A couple nice plays already for Kyle. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 for the Comets. 4:56 remaining in the first half of play. Cardinals with the 11-point advantage over Solon. Got 2 receivers to his left. 1 to his right is Matt Lobsher. Got that play off, and he handed it off for little to no running room. It's probably not even going to be back to the line of scrimmage for the Comets. That was number 2, Melvin Jackson, the sophomore running back, not finding much running room before being taken down by big number 50, Trevor Morrison, and Nico Lautinen on the tackle for the Cards. 4:33 remaining in the first half of play. 3rd down and long, 3rd and 10 for the Comets as they break the huddle. Big play here from their own 30-yard line. Matt Lobsher looking downfield. Again, getting the pass off quick right at the 1st down marker, and it looks like it's going to be enough to move the chains. That's Tim Harmondy on a reception for the Comets. 4:14 remaining in the first half of play. Comets with a couple back-to-back 3rd down conversions, moving the chains, getting close to midfield. Going to be at their own 43-yard line. And the Cardinals, the big sack. And the ball may have squirted out of there, but looks like it was recovered by the Comets. But the Cardinals defense getting in there on that 1st down play, forcing the Comets backwards for going to bring up a 2nd down and long. Billy Hudson getting in there for the Cards, number 51. the junior defensive lineman. Second down and long, called 15 yards for the Comets. Inside 3.5 minutes to play in the first half. The Cards with a 14-3 lead over Solon. Matt Lobsher handed the ball off to Melvin Jackson, running straight ahead, getting close to midfield, short of the first down, but a good yardage gain on second down and long for the Comets, putting it in at a more attainable third down play for the Comets here. 3rd and 5. Inside 3 minutes to play in the first half. Saying it once again, but another third down big play here for the Cardinals defense, trying to get a stop. Matt Lobsher looking downfield, broken up by the Cards as that dribbles itself incomplete. Going to bring up 4th down and 5 for the Comets. And they're bringing on their special teams unit to kick it back over to the Cards. 2:42 remaining in the first half of play. The home team, Mentor Cardinals, up 14-3 over the visiting Solon Comets. Again, the Cardinals coming into this game undefeated on the season, 7-0. Solon Comets 5-2 on the season. Ryan Gallagher getting set to kick the ball off for the Comets, and there's going to be a timeout on the field by the Comets. Going to talk about it a little bit here as we get set for the final few minutes here in the first half. Cardinals up 14-3 over the Comets, but looking to get the ball back and hopefully get some more points on the board before time expires in the first half of play. And with the Cardinals' high-scoring offensive attack, they may be able to put some points on the board and still have quite a bit of time left on the clock. So with the Cards' quick score offense, there's always a lot of time to make some moves here. That was a big momentum shifter after that last kickoff return and touchdown by number 7 Mark Walton, but looking to receive the punt this time on 4th and 5 from the Comets. Eddie Doherty getting set at about his own 19-yard line to receive the kick. Oh, and the Cards nearly got in there to block that punt. They're going to let that ball dribble on down to about the 15-yard line on the Cards side of the field. Eddie Doherty content to just let that one drop and bounce and lay where it may. 1st and 10 for the Cards as they come out with 2:32 remaining in the first half of play. 14-3, the Cards with the advantage. Hoping to get some more points on the board before the first half winds itself down. Jake Floria getting back out there, the senior quarterback for the Cards. Remember, this is his first season as a starting quarterback for the varsity squad. And really showing up nice on the season. 1st and 10 for the Cards. Jake Floria looking downfield. Got a receiver in the middle of the field. Juking and jiving. Number 40 finding a lane and moving those chains. Juking and jiving and moving straight ahead. Busting through the seams to move those chains for the Cards, who line it up quick here on a 1st down and 10. 2:20 remaining in the first half of play. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to his left. Jake Floria on the quarterback keeper, to the 35, to the 40, to the 45, to the 50, to the 45-yard line before going out of bounds on the Comets side of the field. Big play on 1st down for Jake Floria. Decided to keep it himself. After having 5 receivers going out for a pass, ended up taking it himself and taking it to the defense for the big 1st down play for the Cards. 2:09 remaining in the first half of play. Cards up 14-3 over the Comets. Cardinals looking downfield, finding his receiver, getting close to about 8 yards to Jason Blizzard before going out of bounds. So stopping the clock with 2:04 remaining in the first half. Cards on the move. And they are going to say that was enough for a 1st down. So again, moving the chains. 1st and 10, we're going to do it again. Jake Floria getting set up in that hurry-up offense. Looking downfield, looking for Blizzard again, and just maybe a step behind where that ball was Jason Blizzard, but he had a beat on that defensive back as he had a step. He was wide open. Jake Floria going for the gusto on that big pass down the sideline. Nearly had his man Jake Blizzard, but it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Cards. Just inside 2 minutes to go in the first half of play. Minute 59 remaining. The Cards up 14-3. Looking to add some more points on the board. Floria, one receiver to his right, three to his left. Flanked immediately to his right by Alex Matthews. Floria looking downfield, looking in the middle of the field. Eddie Doherty, number 40, on a reception. Coming close to a first down, maybe a yard short of that. They're going to call it 3rd down and 1 with 1:51 remaining in the first half of play. Floria looking to the sideline for the play call. And a hurry-up offense. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left, and they're going to bring the chains out and they're going to measure it up to see if, in fact, maybe they did get a first down on that play because it was ever so close. Gives the Cards another minute to talk it over and decide what they want to do regardless. Again, Jake Flory having a big season for the undefeated Cardinals offense. 1,562 yards passing going into the game tonight. 106 completions out of 160 attempts coming into this game for a 66% passing percentage for the Cardinals quarterback, Jake Flory. And they are going to call that a first down. So Cards positioned very nicely with 1:45 remaining in the first half of play. Floria rolling out to his left under pressure. And he's going to run that ball out of bounds before gaining a couple yards. But he was on the run as the Comets had him pushed to the sideline. 1:34 remaining in the half. 2nd down and long for the Cards. Going to give him credit for 1 yard on that quarterback scramble. Flory looking to the sideline for the play call. Set with 4 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Now they're going to drastically change that formation as Malik Porter goes to the left side of the field, and he's flanked by 2 running backs, and they're going to hand that one off to Eddie Doherty, number 40, to the 10-yard line, getting the first down for the Cards. 1:28 remaining in the first half of play. Changing that formation at the last minute and really surprising the defense as Eddie Doherty bursted through that line of scrimmage for that first down for the Cards from the 11-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. Floria rolling out to his right, looking in the end zone. Waiting to see what that was, and that was picked off by the Comets. Gil Barksdale on the interception. As the rain starts to come down a little bit here at Jerome T. Osborne Stadium as well, right on cue. As the Cardinals looking like they were for sure going to put some points in the end zone on that drive, but Jake Floria throwing the INT, giving the ball back over to the Comets with 1:16 remaining in the first half of play. 14-3. The Cards still with the 11-point advantage over the visiting Comets. Again, right on cue, following that interception, the rain started coming down a little bit here in Menor. Comets with the ball, 1st and 10. They got 1:16 to play with to see what they could do to cut into that 14-3 lead that the Cards enjoy. Matt Lobsher looking downfield and finding his receiver about the 30-yard line for the Comets, but they're going to call that one incomplete. Anthony Zavarello, the intended receiver for the Comets. Kyle Tankovich again calling his name quite a bit tonight, getting his hands in there, breaking that pass up. 1:12 remaining in a half. Cards with that 11-point advantage on defense once again. Looked like the offense finally had a groove on that last drive before turning the ball over in the end zone on that INT by Jake Floria. 2nd down and 10 for the Comets from their own 20-yard line. Matt Lobsher going to hand the ball off. That's Melvin Jackson running to his right for a short yardage situation. Going to bring up a 3rd down for the Comets. Inside a minute to play. So the clock winds down. 14-3. The Cards with the lead. Yet again, forcing the Comets into a 3rd down situation. Going to be a 3rd down and 6 for the Comets of Solon.
40 seconds to go in tonight's first half.
Cardinals again, big defensive play here. The Comets going to pitch the ball. A little bit of running room before being taken down. It's Melvin Jackson being forced out to the sideline. 23 seconds to go in the first half of play. Going to bring up a fourth down. Going to bring up a fourth down for the Comets. Going to have to punt that ball back to the Cardinals. So the Cardinals with a little bit of time to work with here, maybe to get some points on the board before the first half winds itself down. 14-3. The Mentor Cardinals with the lead here at home. Not quite as substantial as the Cards have been enjoying here at home, but the Cards will take it nonetheless. Cards only winning by 7 points last week when they were playing against a tough Brunswick Blue Devil team. Fourth down and 3 for Solon. So special teams getting out on the field, set to kick it back over to the Cardinals. Eddie Doherty going to line up around the 40-yard line on the Cardinals side of the field. Cardinals already with one special teams touchdown tonight is Mark Walton returning that kickoff, following that field goal that the Comets posted on the board when they kicked it off to the Cardinals. Mark Walton with that 73-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And again, the Cardinals putting some pressure on that punter, nearly getting their hands on there. There's going to be about 14 seconds remaining. Actually, the clock winds down to 12 seconds. 12 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Cardinals with a 14-3 advantage. Is the offense going on the field for a 1st and 10 for the Cards? That 11-point lead. 12 seconds remaining in a half. Cards undefeated at home on the season and undefeated overall too. 7-0 coming into this game. The Solon Comets with their 5-2 record. Tough matchup for the Cardinals. Hence the score here, 14-3. Jake Flory getting out on offense. Got 2 receivers to his right, 3 to his left. Looking downfield. Looking to be taken down by the Comets from behind is number 73 for Solon, Darian Jones, bringing down Jake Flory, and they're going to wind down that clock going into halftime here. The Cardinals with the 14-3 lead over the visiting Comets out of Solon. Enjoy halftime, everybody. We'll be coming back for the exciting second half of play on Cardinal TV. Getting set to return to the second half, begin the second half of play here to Mentor Cardinals at home, up 14-3 over the visiting Comets out of Solon. Got Pete Stark, Cardinal TV. Again, you can be watching us, the replay of the game on Time Warner Cable and Mentor, channel 69 or 96.96, Cardinal TV, Mentor, Ohio. Or also you could be streaming us live now on ESPNCleveland.com. 14-3, the Cards with the advantage. Going to run through some of the first half statistics. Cardinals with 9 first downs in that first half of play to 7 for the Solon Comets. 3 of those for the Cardinals on the rushing side on the first downs, 6 from passing. Rushing yards in that first half of play found the Cards with the advantage, 71-24. And the passing advantage again going to the Cardinals, but just by a short margin of 128-110. Total offensive yards, 199 for the Cards in the first half versus 134 for the Comets. Average gain per play for the Comets, only 3.5 yards, but the Cards, 7.4 yards. Time of possession decisively in the favor of the Comets in the first half, 17 minutes, 49 seconds, and 6 minutes, 11 seconds. As the Cardinals on the kickoff to open the second half of play think they may have the ball as the Comets appear to have fumbled. We see the pile up on the field, and the officials signaling Cardinal ball. What a way to start the second half of play. A fumble for the Comets. Kenny Cook on the recovery for the Cards. Fantastic field position. What a way to start the second half. The Cards already with the 11-point lead beginning in the second half of play, 14-3 over the Comets. Getting the early turnover here as they kick the ball off and break it free and recover it here. Jake Flory handing the ball off. Alex Matthews with some running room. Straight ahead. That's Eddie Doherty, number 40 right there. Eddie Doherty running straight on through that Comet defense after they're shocked off that turnover on that kickoff to begin the second half of play. The Cardinals rushing straight ahead inside the 10-yard line for another first down for the Cards. Eddie Doherty on the run. Now it's going to be Alex Matthews running straight ahead to about the 6-yard line on the Comet side of the field. Alex Matthews, number 44 for the Cards. Alex with 35 yards rushing in that first half of play. The Cardinals' leading rusher in the first half. It's going to be second down from the 6-yard line for the Cards. Jake Floria is going to hand that ball off. Going to Eddie Doherty, finding some room on the outside. Goes in for the touchdown. Time to score. How about 6 more? Eddie Doherty, number 40. Going to bring the score up to 20-3 for the Cardinals. Is quickly getting on the board following that turnover to begin the second half of play. That kickoff, the Cardinals kicking it off to the Comets, who fumbled that kickoff return, and the Cardinals recovering and getting it quickly into the end zone for the 20-3 lead as the Cards lining up to get the extra point. 11 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play. Tyler Thompson putting it up. It's going to be good, running the score up to 21-3. The Cardinals quickly on the board in the second half of play. Eddie Doherty with the touchdown score for the Mentor Cardinals here to open the second half. I didn't even get a chance to run through the first half statistics. First half found Jake Floria on 8 of 16 passing for 128 yards, 1 touchdown. Jake Floria also rushed the ball 5 times in the first half for 32 yards. Again, the leading rusher for the Cards in the first half was Alex Matthews, 4 attempts for 35 yards. Eddie Doherty also had a couple carries in the first half of play for 12 yards. Leading receivers for the Cardinals in the first half, Jason Blizzard with 3 catches for 68 yards, 1 being a touchdown score. Eddie Doherty had 3 receptions as well in that first half of play for 33 yards. Another big play in that first half, obviously, Mark Walton, 73-yard kickoff return. So that's scoring summary in the first half for the Cardinals. Jake Floria had a 40-yard pass to Jason Blizzard for a score. Solon then was next on the board in the second quarter of play, a 28-yard field goal by David Sabuki. And then shortly after that, as Solon was kicking off following that field goal, kicked it off to Mark Walton, who 73 yards later went into the end zone for the second Cardinals score on the night, as the Cardinals again kicking it off here for the second time in the second half. Comets up to about the 21-yard line on their own side of the field, 11:03 remaining in the third quarter of play. Cardinals now up 21-3 over the Solon Comets. Once again extending that lead, getting even more breathing room after it was tight through the first part of the first half. Cards led by 7 points after the first quarter of play. Solon got that field goal on the board to cut it to a 4-point lead for the Cardinals when the score was 7-3. And again, Mark Walton with that kickoff return for a touchdown after that, putting the score to 14-3, and that's what we had at halftime. But quickly here in the second half, Eddie Doherty getting on the board, putting the score up to 21-3. That's Gil Barksdale on the run for the Comets. Running to his left for a short yardage gain. Going to bring up a second down for the Solon Comets. 10:50 remaining in the third quarter of play. Comets in the first half. Their passer, Matt Lobsher, 10 of 18 passing for 110 yards. Their leading rusher was Melvin Jackson for 33 yards, is getting a sack lunch. The Cardinals dropping the Comets quarterback. Matt Lobsher going down on that second down play. Going to bring up a third down and long. Third down and 12. Brady Crandall getting credit for that takedown for the Cardinals. 10-10 remaining in the third quarter of play. The Cards up 21-3. Third down and long. And 11 third down attempts for the Solon Comets in the first half of play, and they converted on 4 out of those 11 third down attempts. Matt Lobsher getting his squad set up. 3 receivers to his right, 1 to the left, looking downfield, and he aired it up outside of the reach of number 6, Jake McCurry. It's going to be an incomplete pass for the Solon Comets. Going to bring up a 4th down and 12 yards, so they're going to bring out their special teams to punt it back over to the Cardinals. Eddie Doherty getting set up right around midfield to receive the punt. 21-3, 9:45 remaining in the third quarter of play. The Cards comfortably out ahead right now. The 18-point advantage over the Solon Comets. It's going to bring Eddie Doherty back to about his own 37-yard line, squeaking through, moving ahead to close to the 45-yard line on the Cardinals side of the field. Eddie Doherty, but the officials do throw a flag on the play. It's the Cardinal offense coming out with good field position once again. 21-3 the advantage over the Comets. Cardinals looking to remain perfect on the season, coming into this game with a 7-0 record in 2014 here. The Comets with a 5-2 record. The Comets had started out the season 5-0 before losing their last two games, and maybe on their way to a 3-game losing streak at this point with 9:34 remaining in the third quarter of play. The Cards 21, Comets 3. First and 10 for the Cardinals. Jake Floria getting his offense set up. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Fakes the handoff, looking downfield, and he may end up just keeping it on his own. 35 to the 40, to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 15, 10. Shooting on through. Comes up just shy. Ran out of gas at the end. Jake Floria trying to get into the end zone. Came up just shy, and a big run by the senior quarterback for the Cardinals. Moving those chains. First down and goal to goal from the 2-yard line on the Comet side of the field. Jake Floria faking that handoff, didn't find anything and kept it himself, and he sprinted to the other end of the field and nearly got himself a touchdown. And he's going to give it up on that first down. Going to get into the end zone. It's number 44, Alex Matthews. Time to score. How about 6 more? The junior running back for the Cardinals getting it into the end zone, as he's done quite often on this season. 9:06 remaining in the third quarter of play. The Cards now up 27-3 over Solon. Looking to get the extra point attempt. The senior kicker for the Cardinals, Tyler Thompson, as he puts it up, and that one's good as well. So the Cards extending that advantage up to a 28-3 point lead. Alex Matthews on that carry, taking it into the end zone for the score, following that long run by Jake Floria, nearly getting a rushing touchdown for the Cardinals signal caller, but coming up just shy, bringing it to the 2-yard line of the Comets. But foregoing on that first down play, giving it to Alex Matthews, who took care of business and brought it into the end zone. He extended the Cards' advantage to 28-3 over the Comets. 9:06 remaining in the third quarter of play. Cards getting set to kick off. Again, the Cards were up 14-3 at halftime. They've already doubled that scoring output here in the early going of the second half of play with 2 quick touchdown scores. First one by Eddie Doherty and now Alex Matthews. Cards getting set to kick from their own 40-yard line. Kyle Yolbert getting set to kick it off, and he does. Comets receive at their own 10-yard line, running that ball out straight ahead. They got some running room, only the kicker to beat. And he's on his way to the end zone. Coming back quickly after that Cardinals score. That's a kickoff return on the night for the Cardinals, and now one for the Comets. And that was number 37. 91-yard return back, Max Smith for the Comets on that long touchdown score on the kickoff. 28-9. Now's the advantage for the Cardinals as the Comets get set to put an extra point on the board. David Sabuki trying to get the extra point attempt here. A lot of scoring here in the second half of play with 8:53 remaining in the third quarter. Still a lot of time yet to go. And that extra point is good, so the advantage 28-10, the Cardinals over the Comets. Silencing the crowd here for a minute as the Cards feeling good about themselves after 2 early touchdowns here in the second half of play. The Comets on that kickoff return. Quickly getting through the Cardinals defenders on that kickoff and only had the kicker to beat, Kyle Yulbrick, and he did, taking it to the end zone for the Comets score. 8:53 remaining in the third quarter of play. 28-10, Menor with the lead. As the Cards getting set, preparing to return. The kickoff now being returned by the Comets, getting set to kick over to the Cardinals. 8:53 remaining in the third quarter here.
Come on, 18.
David Sabuki, the kicker for the Comets. Number 15, Brendan Parker. Number 7, Mark Walton, getting ready to return the kick for the Cardinals. Again, Mark Walton on that 73-yard kickoff return for the Cards in the first half of play. And they're going to take it for a touchback. Going to bring it out to the 20-yard line for 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. So the Cardinals here in the second half of play, doubling their scoring output from what they had in the first half. 14 points in the first half, and so far 14 points in early going into the second half for the Cards. And Solon also doing better than what they had their scoring output in the first half. Comets with 3 points in the first half and now 7 more points in the second half of play. So the score currently 28-10. The Cards with the lead. The ball back on first down. Jake Flory with the ball under some pressure, rolling out to his left. Under a lot of pressure, being taken down at about their own 8-yard line, Cardinal side of the field. Losing a lot of yards on that first down play for the Cards, Jake Floria. 8:37 remaining in the third quarter of play, bringing up a second down and long situation. We'll call it 20 yards to go for the first down marker for the Cardinals. Jake Flory getting set in that hurry up. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left, and they're going to run the ball. Eddie with some running room, spinning around and getting oh so close to that first down marker. Running straight ahead for about a 19-yard gain. Going to bring up a 3rd down and short situation. Eddie Doherty, number 40, squeaking through the hole here, getting close to the first down markers. About the 28-yard line, the Cards here getting set for the 3rd down play. 8:03 remaining in the third quarter. Jake Flory is going to hand the ball off to Alex Matthews. It's going to be very close to that first down marker. They may have to measure this one out. It's going to depend on where they spot the ball, and it looks like from where they're spotting it, he got it. 1st and 10, we're going to do it again. They're going to move the chains for the Cards. Inside 8 minutes to play in the third quarter here. Alex Matthews getting that first down, 28-10. The Cards with the advantage. Looking to add on to that lead. Jake Floria, 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right, flanked with the running back immediately to his right. And he's going to hand that ball off straight up the middle for another first down. And he's refusing to go down. Like a wrecking ball straight ahead, Alex Matthews finding a lane and moving the chains to the Comets side of the field. Bringing up a 1st down and 10 for the Cardinals on a big run for Alex Matthews. 7:27 remaining in the third quarter of play, taking almost the entire Comet defense on his back as he kept running straight ahead. Jake Flory looking to the sideline for the play call. 2 receivers to his left. Jason Blizzard to his right. And the play clock starting again here. Cardinals from the 42-yard line on the Comet side of the field, 1st and 10. Jake Flory getting set, faking the handoff, looking downfield. Under pressure again. Breaking the pressure, running straight ahead for a couple positive yards before running out of bounds. Flag on the field. See what they end up calling. Looks like they're going to be waiting to see what this one is here. The officials appear to be backing up the Cardinals, so it's going to go against Menor. 7:04 remaining in the third quarter of play. It's going to be a personal foul against the Cardinals and an ejection carried with that as well. 7:04 remaining in the third quarter play. The Cards getting set, but it's going to be much farther to go for first down now following that penalty. Personal foul on the Cards as the officials trying to get things situated and decide where they want to spot the ball. Personal foul definitely is the call on the Cardinals offense. It's going to be Kevin Burchell getting that penalty for the Cardinals. Kevin Burchell, the junior offensive lineman for the Cards, and having to go to the locker room following that personal foul. Cardinals offense going to have to regroup here as they're looking for the play call from the sideline. The officials are sure taking a long time to decide what they want to do here following that penalty against the Cardinals. Menor, their fifth home game of the season, up 28-10 here versus the Solon Comets. Again, the Cardinals have been enjoying quite a bit of luck here at home and taking it to the teams that they've been playing. The first home game was on September the 12th versus the Euclid Panthers. They won that game 49-0. Beat the Twinsburg Tigers 54-7, Brush Sharks 48-0, and the Shaker Red Raiders 49-12, inflicting a mercy rule in all four of those previous home games. Big run straight ahead, but the fumble at the very end, turning the ball over to the Comets. And it appears that they may have fumbled and given it back to the Cardinals. Crazy set of circumstances on that play. After a nice rush for the Cardinals, giving the ball back to the Comets, who ran it straight ahead, about to pass midfield before fumbling themselves, and the Cardinals recovering that. 6:45 remaining here in the third quarter of play. Crazy play. Jake Flory looking to the sideline, trying to determine where to go with this play, and it's going to be a fresh set of downs for the Cards following that crazy play there. 1st and 10. Flory looking downfield, got a receiver midfield. That's Eddie Doherty. Got banged, but didn't go down to 35-30. Going out of bounds at about the 25-yard line, showing his toughness. The Eastern Michigan recruit taking the hit, but staying on his feet and moving straight ahead, gaining some yards. Number 71 for the Cards, Alex Hazen, shaking up a little bit, the offensive lineman, coming to the sideline for the Cards. But 1st and 10, we're going to do it again. 6:14 remaining in the third quarter play. The Cards with the 28-10 advantage. And a big connection there from Jake Flory to Eddie Doherty. They did that 12 times last week versus Brunswick. 12 receptions for Eddie Doherty. Flory had to get rid of the ball as he was under pressure, looking for Alex Matthews, and couldn't connect. That's going to be an incompletion. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Cardinal offense. 6:11 remaining in the third quarter play. Cards with the 18-point lead, 28-10 over Solon. From the 25-yard line on the Comet side of the field, Jake Flory, the senior signal caller for the Cardinals, getting set from his familiar shotgun position. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Going to hand the ball off. On his feet, number 40, Eddie Doherty, finding a lane, getting close to moving the chains. I think he's going to be possibly just shy of the 1st down, but a nice run by the Cardinals running back, Eddie Doherty. 5:50 remaining in the third quarter play. Going to be a 3rd down and short, 3rd and 1 for the Cardinal offense. Looking to build on that 28-10 lead they currently enjoy. Flory getting set. looking in the middle of the field, throwing it to the feet of his intended receiver, Jarrell Jackson. But it looks like the offense is going to stay in the field for this 4th down and 1. They're going to go for it. Jake Flory had his man open, just threw it too low at his feet. And Jarrell Jackson couldn't haul in that pass. 5:34 remaining in the 3rd quarter play. Jake Flory's going to hand that ball off in some running room. Eddie Doherty, number 40, Lordy, going into the end zone. Time to score. How about 6 more? Eddie Doherty getting it into the end zone for the Cardinals. 34-10 over the Comets of Solon. 5:26 remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. Tyler Thompson's going to go out there to try to add 1 more point in the scoring column. Put the finishing touches on that scoring drive for the Cardinals following the Eddie Doherty touchdown score. Tyler Thompson, the kick is up, and it's good. So 21 points here in the second half of play in the 3rd quarter. 35-10, the Mentor Cardinals over the visiting Solon Comets. 5:26 remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. Cardinals again extending that lead a little bit. 35-10 here. And this big matchup here in the Northeastern Ohio Conference Valley Division. Mentor Cardinals 7-0 on the season. Solon Comets 5-2. Solon on a 2-game losing streak and appearing to be on their way to their 3rd loss in a row. Solon being led by their coach Jim McQuaid in his 12th season at the school. Solon was 6-5 last year, and you'd have to think they may end up better than that this year with already 5 wins on the season, but they've got a tough remainder to their schedule too, as do the Cardinals, as this upcoming Thursday brings on their matchup with currently undefeated Hudson Explorers. Cardinals going to be going on the road to play the Hudson much anticipated matchup, where the 2 teams could go into that game both undefeated on the season. And then the final regular season home game is going to find the Cardinals versus the Strongsville Mustangs, who's also been enjoying a good season to date with only 1 loss on the year. Short kick following that touchdown. It's going to bring the ball up to about the 36-yard line for the Comets when they're going to begin this possession here with 5:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Ryan Gallagher on that kickoff return for the Comets, not finding much going, but the ball, decent field position for the Comets on their own, called the 38-yard line. Comets getting set. Matt Lobsher, the quarterback, and he's going to hand the ball off. Not finding a lot of running room for Melvin Jackson before it being taken down. Michael Ballantyne getting in there, as well as Billy Hudson getting in there on that tackle for the Cards as well. 5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter of play, 35-10. The Cardinals with the big advantage at this point. 2nd down and 7 for the Comets. As Matt Lobsher is going to give it again to Melvin Jackson, running that ball out of bounds, going to bring up a 3rd down as he came up shy of the 1st down yardage that he needed. So it's going to be about a 3rd down and 4 yards to go with 4:42 remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. And the Comets have found themselves in a lot of 3rd down situations already this evening. Again in the first half, 11 3rd down attempts, and they were 4 of 11 in that first half. Cardinals looking to stop them again. Matt Lobsher looking to pass, as he's been doing on 3rd down, getting rid of that ball quick. Completion to number 6, Jake McCurry, right at midfield. And he's shaking up a little bit on the play, McCurry. But again, I'd like to think Matt Lobsher likes to have that pressure on 3rd down on these conversions here has really made a point of getting that ball released out of his hand quickly and into the hands of a receiver, as he did on that play where they moved the chains, getting first down for the Comets. 4:37 remaining in the third quarter. The Cards with the 35-10 advantage, as the training staff is tending to the wide receiver for the Comets, who's currently down. Jake McCurry with the nice catch in the middle of the field, but as any receiver knows, when you're going across the middle, you're living on dangerous ground there, because you just got to be ready and anticipate that hit may be coming. You got to stick your nose in there and hold on to the ball, as he did on a tough reception for the first down for the Comets. As the Cardinal defenders getting back on the field here, preparing for this first down play. Most points the Cardinals have given up all year at home has been 12 points to the Shaker Heights Red Raiders. 4:25 and running for the Comets. Matt Lobsher at quarterback. Shotgun set, two receivers to his left, one to his right. Handed that ball off to Melvin Jackson. Squirted up the middle for about 4 yards. .405 and counting in the third quarter plays. 2nd down and 6 for the Comets. Michael Ballantyne getting credit for the tackle for the Cardinals. Matt Lobsher, two receivers to his right, one to his left. And the shotgun set, looking downfield. Looking for a receiver who's wide open at the 25 to the 20, going out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. Nice pass by Lobsher. Anthony Zavarella on a reception for the Comets, the sophomore wide receiver for Solon. A nice connection from Matt Lobsher. Bringing up a 1st and down for 1st and 10 for Solon. 3:30 remaining in the third quarter of play. The Cardinals with the 35-10 advantage, but the Comets once again on the move. In their own spread offense, two receivers to the left, two to the right, but movement on the offense. It's going to back that up 5 yards for the Comets to about the 20-yard line, sending them in the wrong direction. As it's going to be a 1st down and 15 now, as they get set to line back up once they break the huddle, as they do rather quickly. 3:18 remaining in the third. Matt Lobsher getting set at the QB spot. Three receivers to his left, one to his right. Looking downfield, and he's going to swing it to the side, intended for Melvin Jackson, who couldn't handle that little screen pass to the left. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 15 for the Comets. 3:06 remaining in the third quarter of play. That halftime score was 14-3. Cardinals with the advantage. A lot of points coming up here in the third quarter, though, with 21 points. The third quarter for the Cardinals. Big scoring output here. Matt Lobsher looking in the middle of the field, got a receiver, number 2, Melvin Jackson, on the catch. Inside 3 minutes to play in the third quarter of play. Going to bring up a 3rd down situation. 6 yards to go for the Comets, as they break the huddle for this big 3rd down attempt. Three receivers to his left, two to his right. Matt Lobsher getting set for a big 3rd down play for the Comets. Looking once again in the middle of the field, and again number 2 was his intended receiver. This time he couldn't connect. Coming up incomplete on that play. And they're going to have to think about going for it, as it looks like they are, being down by a score of 35-10 versus the Mentor Cardinals. 2:29 remaining in the third quarter of play. 4th down and 6. The Comets are going to go for it. Coach Jim McQuaid making a decision here to go for it on 4th down. Matt Lobsher swinging it out to the side to number 2, Melvin Jackson, who's got enough for the 1st down. It's going to be 1st down and goal to goal for the Solon Comets. Nearly squeaking his way into the end zone on a nice little swing pass. Found some running room and Nearly brought it in the end zone before being brought down at about the 2-yard line on the Cardinals side of the field. First down and goal to goal. 2:17 remaining in the third quarter play. The Cards up 35-10 over Solon. Matt Lobster was awaiting a snap, but it looked like there may have been a movement again. It's going to be a false start on the offense, so it's going to push the Comets back 5 yards. Going to remain first down, but it's going to be from the 7-yard line this time, a little bit farther out on their first down and goal to goal situation. 2:06 remaining in the third quarter. Cardinals with a 25-point advantage over the visiting Solon Comets. Lobster from the shotgun, 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Getting set for the snap, looking in the middle of the field again, but looking to go down as the Cards drop him to the ground for the sack. And a big play by the defense. See number 46, Brady Crandall, get in there, and Pete Kunka in there as well. Minute 35 remaining in the third quarter. Clock winding down. It's going to be second down and goal to goal from the 10. As the Comets break their huddle, getting lined up with 1 receiver to the right, 3 to the left for Matt Lobster. Looking to his left, another swing pass to number 2, Melvin Jackson, being met by the defender and brought out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. Nice hit by the Cards. Melvin Jackson on a swing pass for the Comets before being taken down by Michael Ballantyne, who met him head on with a nice tackle. Going to bring up a third down from the 9-yard line for the Comets as we come up on 1 minute remaining in the third quarter of play. Cardinals with a 35-10 lead. As the crowd starts getting loud, trying to pump up the defense on his big third down play. Lofton had way over the head of his receiver in the end zone as the quarterback, Lobster, incomplete. We're going to bring up a 4th down, and I think Coach McQuaid's going to have to think about going for it again here with the deficit they're facing. 47 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play. Kyle Tankovich was there on the defensive side defending that pass for the Cardinals. The 9-yard line is where the Comets will be on this 4th down play. Matt Lobster getting set with the offense. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Looking in the middle of the field, broken up, but there's a flag on the play. Michael Ballantyne, like a glove on top of that receiver, getting his hands in there, but the official's going to say a little too much hands, and they're going to call him for the flag. Defensive penalty there, pass interference. 44 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play, giving more life to the Solon Comets. Following that penalty, it's going to be a first down and goal to goal from the 5-yard line this time for the Comets. Staying alive following that penalty. It's going to be a timeout on the field by the Solon Comets here. 35-10, the Cardinals with the advantage. 44 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play. Cardinals looking to remain perfect on the season. 7-0 at this point, and Solon coming in with a 5-2 record. Cards with 2 more regular season games to go, playing the Hudson Explorers next Thursday at Veterans Memorial Stadium in Hudson. And the last game of the season is going to be a final home game as well. The Strongsville Mustangs are going to be visiting here at Jerome T. Osborne Stadium on Halloween night. So those 2 teams that Mentor wraps up the regular season against, Hudson and Strongsville, are also facing off against each other tonight at Hudson. The defense looking to tighten up again. First down from the 5-yard line. Solon Comets getting set. 44 seconds remaining in the third. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Matt Lobster. Look like movement again on the offense. It's going to be false start once again. I think that's the third False start for Solon here in the third quarter of play already. When the Comets appear to be on the move, they kind of deflate themselves by backing the ball up off of the offsides penalties that they get flagged with. 43 seconds in the third quarter of play. And here we go with the Comets getting set. Matt Lobsher looking to pass under some pressure by the defense. Broken up again by the Cardinals. Michael Ballantyne getting his hands on the ball. And that's going to be an incompletion. That's going to be a turnover on downs. Turnover on downs going to give the ball to the Cardinals. Bit of confusion here following that pass interference in the end zone a few plays ago. It looked like they had reset the Comets with that being a first down, but they should have kept that as being a fourth down. And Cardinals making a couple nice defensive plays, following that penalty, breaking up that pass in the end zone. So the Cardinals getting the ball here. Jake Floria going to hand it off before being brought down rather quickly. Eddie Doherty not finding any running room on that first down play. 25 seconds remaining in the third quarter. The Mentor Cardinals up 35-10 over the visiting Solon Comets. Coming up on 10 seconds remaining now in the third quarter of play. Maybe lucky to get one more play off before this third quarter clock winds down. Jake Floria getting set. And he's going to let that clock run down. It's the end of the third quarter of play. The Mentor Cardinals with the big advantage, 35-10 over the Solon Comets. As the Cardinals going to come back out when play resumes with the second down and 13. Eddie Doherty rushing on that first down play, losing 3 yards. But the Cardinals, with the ball in their hands, is the important thing. Following that turnover on downs, the Comets were moving strong, but shooting themselves in the foot with a couple penalties. Cardinals, nice play on fourth down, breaking it up in the end zone. Michael Ballantyne has been doing that quite a bit here in the last few weeks, sticking his nose in there on defense and getting his hands in the right place, breaking up passes. Last week, again, that was a tight game versus the Brunswick Blue Devils. And at the very end of the game, Brunswick on the move with the Cardinals only up 21-14. Michael Ballantyne ended up tipping the ball, and Mark Walton recovered it for an interception in the end zone, sealing the deal for that one last week versus Brunswick. A little bit more of a comfort level this week, though, at home, 35-10, the big advantage over Solon. Jake Floria getting set. One receiver to his right, two to his left. Nearly up in the face of Kyle Yulbrook, who somehow got that ball off for the kick. 11:05 remaining in the game. It's going to be a personal foul running into the kicker against the Solon Comets. Not enough to give the Cards a first down, though, on that 4th and 8. Well, and I take it back. It was enough. That penalty again. The Comets shooting themselves in the foot with some penalties here in the second half of play. That being a big one. The ball was going to be going their way on a punt from the Cardinals, but it was roughing the kicker as the Cardinals quickly get on offense, handing the ball off. Alex Matthews running it straight ahead on first down. About a 7-yard gain for the big running back for the Cardinals. Statistics through the first 3 quarters of play. Rushing yards nearly even. In terms of yards lost, I should say, between the Cards and the Comets. But in terms of positive rushing yards, Cards with a big advantage through 3 quarters of play. 224 yards on the ground for the Cardinals and only 29 yards for the Comets through the first 3 quarters of play. Comets do have an advantage slightly with passing yards, 166 passing yards through 3 quarters versus 155 for the Cardinals. 379 yards total for the Cardinals through the first 3 quarters of play, only 195 for the Solon Comets. Cardinals on a first down play. Alex Matthews running straight ahead. Up to about the 47-yard line. 10 minutes to go in the game. 35-10, the Cards with the lead. It's going to bring up a second down and 6 for the Cardinals. Again, recapping some of the first 3-quarter statistics. The average gain per play, 8.6 yards for the Cards, only 3.6 for the Comets. Again, the Comets have quite a big advantage in terms of time of possession with the ball. 24 minutes versus only 11 minutes, 49 seconds for the Cardinals for the first 3 quarters of play. It's going to be a big third down for the Cardinals coming up here, 3rd and 4 with 9:30 remaining in the game. 35-10, the current advantage of the Cardinals over the Comets. Jake Floria, 99 yards on the ground through 3 quarters of play. Floria looking to his left, swinging the ball out. Some running room. Number 40, Eddie Doherty, going up to the 35-yard line on the Comets side of the field, finding a lane and moving those chains for another first down. 1st and 10, we're going to do it again. Jake Floria, 9 of 19 passing through the first 3 quarters of play for 155 yards, including that 1 touchdown pass. As the student section getting loud here. The rain's starting to come down, but it's not slowing them down at all. First down, Alex Matthews with the carry straight ahead for about a 3-yard gain for the Cards. 8:40 remaining in the game. 35-10, the Cards with the lead. From the 33-yard line on the Comets side of the field, 2nd down and 8. Menor with the ball. Jake Floria to QB. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Fakes the handoff, looking to pass. Not finding anybody, but there he does, looking down the field for, are they going to call that a catch? Jarrell Jackson with a nice grab. It's going to move the chains for another first down for the Cards. Jake Floria looked like he threw that ball kind of low, but nicely brought in by Jarrell Jackson, the senior receiver for the Cards. Jake Floria getting set. Looking to pass again, looking across the middle of the field, but looking towards the 10-yard line. Again, finding number 3, Jarrell Jackson, bringing it in and moving the chains for the Cards. 1st and 10, we're going to do it again, this time in the red zone. 7:55 remaining in the game from the 9-yard line. The Cards getting set for first down. 35-10, the current advantage over Solon. Jake Floria going to hand the ball off, and Eddie Doherty, number 40, straight into the end zone. Time to score. How about 6 more? Here we go. Cardinals bumping the score up to 41-10 over the Comets. 7:42 remaining in the game. Tyler Thompson, the senior kicker, looking to come out on the field to get the extra point. Cardinals pushing ahead to 41-10. The big lead. Sure appears they're going to remain undefeated on the season and bring their record up to 8-0 on the year. Kick is up and it's good. 42-10, the Cardinals with the advantage. On a rushing touchdown by Eddie Doherty. $42 points for the home team. Only 10 for the visiting Solon Comets. Again, the Cards enjoying pretty big scoring outputs whenever they've been at home here. 49 points versus the Euclid Panthers, 54 versus the Twinsburg Tigers, 48 versus the Brush Sharks, and 49 versus the Shaker Red Raiders. And Cardinals again with a big scoring output this evening. 42 points on the board versus only 10 that they've given up to this point. Cards getting set to kick the ball off. Following a touchdown by Eddie Doherty. Giving a nice round of applause for a student here from the high school. He's going to be going to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Senior Ian Meadows auditioned for the Macy's Great American Marching Band this past summer. He's currently a member of the high school's Fighting Cardinal Marching Band and thought the Macy's Band would be a great opportunity to take his skills to the next level, and fortunate enough to be named to that as the Comets again with a nice run back getting close to midfield. It's about the 47-yard line on their own side, giving the Comets good field position here with 7:34 remaining in the game. 42-10, the Cards with the lead over the Comets. Again, talking about Ian Meadows from the band who's going to be going to New York City for the Thanksgiving Day Macy's Parade. Ian found out he was accepted into the band and will perform alongside approximately 300 other students representing every state. And the Cardinals now with the advantage over 30 points. The mercy rule is going to be in place for the remainder of the game, so the clock is going to continue to run. Again, that's that new rule by the OHSAA in the 2014 season with the mercy rule, with the Cards having an over 30-point advantage. The only thing that's going to stop the play clock is if there's a change of possession, or a turnover on downs, or a timeout. So 6:45 remaining in the game, 42-10, the Cardinals with the big lead over the Solon Comets. The defense back on the field for Menor, as they've been most of the evening. Matt Lobsher looking downfield, found a receiver wide open with some running room, going out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. Number 37 on a reception. Matt Smith for the Comets. Going to bring on a 1st and 10 for the Solon Comets. 6:15 remaining in the game. Cardinals giving up the big play to Solon. As Matt Lobsher doing his little pitch again to Melvin Jackson. Read pretty well by the Cardinals. Not getting much past that line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and long for the Solon Comets from about the 21-yard line. 2nd and 9, we'll call it. Nico Lautner getting credit on the tackle for the Cards. 5:40 remaining in the game. Quarterback for the Comets, Matt Lobsher, in that shotgun formation. One receiver to his right, 2 to his left. Getting set, looking downfield. Got a receiver open, catches it at about the 10-yard line, fighting through to about the 4. Again, that's Smith on a reception for the Comets. It's going to be moving the chains. 5:10 remaining in the game. Brendan Parker getting in there on a tackle for the Cards. Michael Ballantine also getting in the mix on that tackle for the Cards defense. The 5-yard line. Comets getting set to line up for a 1st down and goal-to-goal situation. But it appears to be too little too late at this point, as the Comets going to fall to 5-3 on the season, and the Cardinals should be going to 8-0. Melvin Jackson, number 2 on the rush, getting close to the end zone for the Comets. Being taken down at about the 1-yard line on the Cardinals side of the field. 4:30 remaining in the game. Big Trevor Morrison getting credit for the tackle on that one for the Cards. 2nd down, goal-to-goal, 4:20 remaining in the game. 42-10, the Cards with the advantage. Melvin Jackson again getting the handoff and being denied as the Cardinals defenders stuffing him shy of the end zone. J.D. Masco getting in there on the tackle. And also Billy Hudson getting in the mix on that tackle for the Cards too. Inside 4 minutes to play in the game. 3rd down from the 2-yard line for the Comets. And you notice it's 4-down territory with the scoring differential the way it is right now. Melvin Jackson going to run it into the end zone for the score for the Comets. It's going to bring the score up to 42 for the Cardinals, 16 points now for the Comets, following that touchdown by Melvin Jackson, the sophomore running back for the Comets. And the Comets getting set to kick it for the extra point. David Sabuke getting set for the extra point attempt. Flag on the play. 3:44 remaining in the game as the rain is coming down, as the umbrella is coming out again in the stands. Illegal procedure against Solon, so it's going to make that extra point attempt 5 yards more difficult than it was. So here comes the wind and the rain. 42-16, the Cardinals with a big advantage. 3:44 remaining in the game. Comets getting set for the extra point kick. And it's up, and it appears to be good. No, it's going to be no good. As they said, it did not cut through the uprights, so it's going to be remaining the same. 42 for the Mentor Cardinals, 16 points for the visiting Solon Comets. And now, because of the score by the Solon Comets, that bridged the gap with the scoring deficit, is no longer over a 30-point margin, so we no longer have the running clock here with that mercy rule. So going back to regular time counting here in the game with the remaining 3:44, at least, unless the Cardinals score again, which could change it back to that mercy rule. As the rain's still coming down. Cardinals offense getting set to come out on the field. After the Comets do the kickoff here to return the ball to the Cards. Eddie Doherty getting back, but the Cardinals expecting there may be an onside kick here too. As Eddie Doherty gets set at about his own 20-yard line, waiting for the kickoff. It's going to be a timeout by the Cardinals here, as a lot of people heading out of the stadium with the rain coming down at this point here. 3:44 remaining in the game. The Cards with the big advantage, 42-16. Again, next week they're going to be facing off on Thursday. It's going to be the game of the week, the Thursday night special versus the Hudson Explorers. And Hudson coming into this game tonight that they're playing versus the Strongsville Mustangs at home finds Hudson undefeated, just like the Cardinals are. So it could be a matchup of two undefeated teams as these two teams face off. Again, you can watch a replay of this game on Cardinal TV, Mentor, Ohio, on YouTube, or on Time Warner Cable in the city of Mentor, channel 96.996. Or now this season streaming it live on ESPNCleveland.com as they squib the ball. Eddie Doherty's going to pick it up, and he's going to slide to about the 18-yard line on the Cardinal side of the field. .340 now remaining in the game. So again, you see more and more of the crowd filing out with this rain coming down. Temperature definitely dipping from what it was at the start of the game, which was in the low 60s. Jake Flory coming back out there at the quarterback spot, as it looks like the remainder of the starters as well coming out there for the Cards. 1st and 10. One receiver on the right, two on the left. Two running backs for the Cardinals, as Jake Flory's going to hand the ball off, and he's not going to make it back up to the line of scrimmage, so he's going to lose a yard. Inside 3:30 remaining in the game. It's going to be 2nd down and 11 for the Cardinal offense. 42-16, the Cardinals enjoying a big lead. Game number 8 on the season. Jake Flory getting set in the shotgun position. Two receivers to his right, one to his left from their 20-yard line. Eddie Doherty, I take it back, that was from their 15-yard. Eddie Doherty getting the ball. Really not getting much on that rush either. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and long situation for the Cardinals, who seem like they may be content to let the clock wind down here with 2:40 to go in tonight's matchup. 42-16, the Cards with the big lead. And the Cards looking to the sideline for the play. Jake Floria getting set in that shotgun formation. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to the right. And he's going to keep it himself. A little bit of running room just past the 20-yard line. There is a flag on the field. 2:12 remaining in the game. Wait to see what the officials call on the flag. Jake Flory on that quarterback keeper before being taken down by Kevin Gersey by the Comets. It's going to be holding on the Cardinals. It's going to be the call. It's going to be declined by the Comets. It's going to bring up a 4th down situation for Menor. So they're going to be kicking the ball back over to the Comets. 2 minutes remaining in the game. Cardinals are going to punt the ball over to Solon. Solon's going to get good field position here, but again, too little, too late. Outmatched tonight by the Cardinals here. 42-16, the current score. Kai Yulberg getting set to punt for the Cards, the sophomore kicker. It's going to be another timeout on the field called. The Cardinals taking it this time with 1:45 remaining in the game. Cardinals going to remain unbeaten on the season. Definitely looking forward to the playoffs again this season, but Cardinals would love to remain undefeated as they get through this regular season. A couple more tough matchups to wind down the season here to Hudson Explorers next Thursday, and finally against the Strongsville Mustangs. Solon's going to drop to 5-3. This is going to be their 3rd loss in a row after starting the season out so promising at 5 wins to begin the season. 1:45 remaining in the game. The Cards squibbing that snap to the punter, who got a decent punt off, all things considered. And the Comets going to be taken down about their 45-yard line is where they finally stop their momentum. 1:30 remaining in the game. Another flag on the play. Mark Gordon on the stop for the Cardinals, the sophomore defensive lineman. As we wait to see what the officials are going to call on the play. Solon's going to be getting the ball here with 1:32 to go. And it looks like they're backing the Comets up, so they're going to begin this possession from their own 35-yard line. Blocking the back on the Cardinals on that kickoff return, or that punt return. And that's a new quarterback in there, Jeremy Friedman, in a quarterback for the Comets. So they got some running room. Tripped up at about midfield, the Comets. Moving straight ahead, getting the 1st down. Devon Brown, the sophomore running back for Solon, on a nice run. 1:23 remaining in the game. Again, that's the sophomore QB for the Comets now in the game, Jeremy Friedman, taking over for Matt Lobsher. Right at midfield, the Comets 1st and 10. Going to hand that ball off to number 25, Devon Brown. Not finding a whole lot of running room on that play. A minute remaining in the game. The Cards up 42-16. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 for the Comets. Inside a minute to go. The big advantage for the Cardinals. Another big home victory for Menor is going to be going to 8-0 on the season. 40 seconds remaining in the game. The Comets looking for the play call. 10 seconds remaining on the play clock. Jeremy Friedman at the quarterback spot handed the ball off again for minimal yards. 25 again, Devon Brown, the sophomore running back for the Comets, getting some action here at the very end of the game. Inside 20 seconds to play. The Cardinals are going to win this one 42-16. Again, going to remain undefeated on the season, 8-0. And the Comets out of Solon going to fall to 5-3. There is one more play they're trying to get off, but they're going to run out of time here as the clock winds down. That's the end of the game. Final score here at Jerome T. Osborne Stadium, Mentor, Ohio. The home team, Mentor Cardinals, 42 to visiting Solon Comets, 16 points on the night. So again, the Cardinals extending their record to 8-0 on the 2014 football season. Solon Comets going to fall to 5-3 on the year. Cardinals again primed and ready for the playoffs, but not before having a couple tough matchups to wrap up the season. Going to be facing off this Thursday against the Hudson Explorers in Hudson, Veterans Memorial Stadium. And then finally coming back for the capper of the regular season at home versus the Strongsville Mustangs on Halloween night. That should be a fun evening here at the JTO. But the Cardinals, again, coming up victorious at home. 8-0 on the season for Mentor. And another big victory here at home, 42-16, as they take down the visiting Comets out of Solon. Pete Stark, Cardinal TV. Glad we could bring it to you once again. Again, you could watch the replay, Time Warner Cable, channel 96.96, or on Cardinal TV, Mentor, Ohio, on the YouTube channel. And once again this year, finally streaming it live on ESPNCleveland.com. We'll catch everybody next time. Again, go Cardinals. Have a great evening, everybody.